Heading into the first round of the playoffs, I thought the biggest advantage that the Lakers would have is their late game offensive execution. Here's a clip from the Hoop Venue podcast. The ultimate deciding factor for me was fourth quarters. It was fourth quarters. The scenario I gave you was it's 100-100, 3 minutes left in all seven of the games. How many games does it take the Lakers to eliminate that series?
5. That's why I said Lakers say 5.
Well, in game 3 of the series, we basically got this exact scenario. After a tough bucket from Luka, the Wolves called timeout, and things were all tied up at 103 with about 4.5 minutes left to go. This is the situation where I thought LeBron and Luka would have the ultimate advantage, and I couldn't have been more wrong. Minnesota's been closing these games with a big 5-out lineup, going with DiVincenzo and Reed over Conley and Gobert. And then their offensive approach is really simple. They're going to spread the floor for Ant to use a ball screen and get a switch onto Luka. Then from there, he'll do what he does best, break down the defense one-on-one. In this lineup, the Wolves like to switch everything. That way, when Luka uses a screen, there's no advantage, and instead of creating downhill pressure, the Lakers are forced to live off of jumpers. Here's a great example. LA is going to set up a double drag in early offense, to which Ant just switches onto the ball after one screen, then Randle follows suit on a second. Luka hits LeBron on a pop, but Ant recovers to close the space, and once again, instead of touching the paint, they end up getting a spot-up 3 over a contest. With about 1.5 minutes left to go, they again set up the double drag, but this time with both bigs instead of Ant. Now Luka has the Randle switch on an island and turns the corner to drive, yet he just doesn't have the agility to get all the way around him, so the Wolves don't have to bring help. Once again, there's no advantage created whatsoever, and the end result is this awkward 3 from LeBron that hits the side of the backboard. On the other side of things, the Lakers are also going to switch every screen, and the Wolves are also going to set up double drag, with Ant getting a switch onto Reeves and then Luka. The difference is that he's going to beat Luka off the dribble every single time, so the offense has an automatic advantage. As a result, the Lakers had to make some tough decisions down the stretch. On this one, they don't want Luka defending Ant on an island, so Finney-Smith stays glued to the ball, only for him to turn the corner anyways as he gets to the paint, collapses the defense, and finds Naz Reid for 3. Then next time down, they wanted to hide Luka altogether, so when his man comes to set a screen, LeBron's gonna pre-switch so that he's the one jumping out to the ball. Only Ant doesn't have much trouble getting around him either, and without a rim protector, that's easy points. By that point, the Wolves didn't even care to hunt for a specific matchup. With about 1 minute left to go, they're going to clear out for him to isolate Finney-Smith, and between his slashing and pull-up shooting, basically all you can do is hope he misses. That one right there was the dagger. Remember, it was 103-103 with 4.5 minutes left, and by the end of the game, the Wolves found themselves up 116-104, closing out on a 13-1 run. Then in game 4, these teams found themselves in a really similar situation. After 3 quarters, the Lakers were up by 10, so with the right late game execution, they'd walk out of Minnesota with the series tied at 2 games apiece. And then Anthony Edwards immediately opened the fourth with a deep 3 over Luka, only to come back less than a minute later, use that ball screen to get the switch, and drill yet another pull-up jumper in his grill. Once again, their late game offense was all about getting him the switch he wants, clearing out to let him play one-on-one, and watching him pick apart the Lakers as a scorer. Then about 4 minutes into the quarter, he found himself with a cross match onto Reeves, hunted for that pull-up 3, and just like that, the lead was down to 4. The craziest part though, is that in the midst of all of this, Ant was playing lockdown on-ball defense. Just watch him on this entire possession. He pressures Luka all the way out at half court, teleports through the same screen multiple times to not give up a switch onto Rudy. Then when they reset with Reeves up top, he picks him up on a switch, pressures the ball, gets over a screen, and forces a really awkward 3-point attempt. Then when Reed checked in for the closing minutes, they once again went back to switching everything, forcing the Lakers to play one-on-one, and basically telling Luka that he'd have to beat them himself. That isn't exactly a good formula for LA though. In fourth quarters during these playoffs, he shot just 5 of 17 from the field and 1 of 6 from 3, as the Lakers offense basically turns into everyone standing around and watching him play one-on-one. So anytime he misses, the Wolves are able to easily turn defense into offense going the other way, with this trailing 3 from Naz Reid cutting it down to just a 2-point game. And I want to take a second to talk about Naz Reid, who's been absolutely amazing in these fourth quarters. He's averaging 6.5 points a game on 119.5% true shooting. No, that isn't a typo. He's basically breaking the stat because of how efficient he's been. He's made 9 of his 10 field goals and all 6 of his 3-pointers, including this one from Game 4 to give the Wolves the lead. With that, he's also held up really well defensively. He's typically the guy being hunted by Luka in these late game situations, and his agility and length allow him to offer some nice isolation defense. You know who else looked good defensively in this fourth quarter? LeBron James. At age 40, in a game where he played 46 minutes, he was making plays like this, and that led to transition offense for the Lakers, with a Dorian Finney-Smith triple putting them back up by 2. The big adjustment for LA is that they were now trapping Ant on every touch to get the ball out of his hands. This one leads to Naz trying to isolate LeBron, who cuts off a drive and swipes down to force a turnover, but next time down, Ant's ready for the trap, and he keeps his dribble alive as he hunts for a slight opening, which then shifts the entire defense to his side of the floor, leaving McDaniels with 2 points at the rim plus a foul. Down 1, 30 seconds left, the Lakers had a chance to take the lead, only for LeBron to turn the ball over on a sideline out of bounds play. Then, after Ant got fouled and hit both free throws, we were looking at a 3-point game with just 10 seconds to go. I actually think LA executed well for the first time, and a corner 3 from Reeves is about the best look you can ask for, but it doesn't drop, and the Wolves defend their home court to take a commanding 3-1 lead. Remember, it was fourth quarter execution that ultimately made me lean towards the Lakers in this series. But the Wolves have proven time and time again that they can not only hold up, but thoroughly outplay them in these situations. Throughout all fourth quarters in the series, Minnesota has outscored LA 105-69, and that's as much a result of the Wolves' execution as it is the Lakers' lack thereof. LA's offense has completely collapsed against the switching, while Ant has completely abused switches on the other side of the ball. And after 4 games, I think it's safe to say that I was wrong. The Wolves are in a good spot up 3-1, and it could take a miracle for the Lakers to get back in this series. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn my post notifications on to be first on more content. If you're interested in my more in-depth research, make sure to check out the Hoop Venue podcast and my social media profiles. You can find those links in the description. Feel free to let me know down in the comments what you think of this series. As always, I hope you all have a great day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.